What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another ep. Today's ep, we're making a 4x1 merged collector, getting stuck into the Cortina turbo build. Yeah, I'll take you guys through making a 4x1. Alright guys, so I just want to, disclaimer, I've never ever made any turbo pipes, made any merged collector ever in my life. I've just bought myself a TIG welder, and I've got about 40 minutes on the TIG doing alley only. Okay, so what we're gonna see is practically, yeah, for you starting out, if you've never touched a welder or a TIG before, we're making the collector for my Cortina. So I'm not sure if you've watched my previous episodes, but if you're interested in the Cortina project, that's sort of intertwining with this manifold build. And this is the bay. So we've got a 2-liter Pinto. What we're gonna do is we're gonna convert this over to EFI. We're gonna do the turbo setup and also a manifold, inlet manifold with fuel injection. Stay tuned for more progress on this, but that's what the collector is for. Alright guys, so we're up to, so the materials that I'm going to be using is 1 1/4 shed 40. So I've got some lengths here. Now I'm going to be cutting the lengths for the merge at 90 mil. So I'll cut them at 90. So we'll cut it on the chop saw, and then what we'll do is to bevel the edges and finish off the cuts. We'll throw it on the sander. Alright, so there's my jig. I'm going to show you what I actually done and how I done it. So that's my 25 degree or 20 degree. I think it was actually 25 degrees. So what we'd do is we'd mark our points here on the pipe. And then that was my 90. So I knew that that's the 90. And why we're cutting it at 90 degrees is because we've got 4 pipes, all right, and we want them to each be equal. Now, we all know that a circle is 360 degrees, and if you divide 360 degrees by 4, we get 90 degrees, all right? So that means that when we cut 4 of these at 90 degrees, they will meet up and make a circle. This is a little bit longer than my jig, but anyways, we'll mark it. So we'll say that that's the 90 degree mark there. And there we go. Alright, so that's that mark there. Now, let's mark it up over here. So we're going to get now the other line, the opposing. I'm going to mark that up to our there. So as you can see, I've teed that up to that edge there, or as close to. And again, this is just showing you guys, this is not accurate at the moment. But alright. And there we go. So we've got that mark there, and then that mark there, and that there is going to be that merge. Something similar to that. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to cut that line where it intersects. So once we've got it, what we want to do is we want to cut these intersecting lines here. So when you look at it, we're not keeping this, so don't worry about that. And don't worry about that. What we're going to do is we're going to cut here, that line there, and that line there. And if you cut that, that will be that V. Alright, so you want to make sure you cut it on the same angle, and then that will cut that there. And then we do the same here. We cut here, this line, go ahead, cut it, and then cut that on the same, and then you'll get something like this. Okay, and then when we add all these together, now this was one of my ones that didn't work out. You can see this will probably be a 3-into-1 here, but I ended up getting something along the lines in the end. That's how you want it to look flush there. What it's gonna look like. Alright, so that's the 4-into-1 merge. Now, I didn't end up going with this angle. It was a bit too much. I made about 5 or 6 of these jigs, all with different angles, with all just different. And I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna go out and buy an actual template jig. Went out and bought a jig here. So this is from Matt Berry. It's 4-into-1, and I think this is a 15-degree. Here we go. And with this jig, whereas I had to turn that around to get the intersection, this one here, you just mark it up, and that's how you want to cut it. And now I've cut up some pipe here, and we'll just do we're going to bevel the ends, so then it's easy to weld. And then once we've beveled one side, we will then throw these now in the jig, because I'm ready to actually make the pipes now. We'll throw them into the jig, mark it up, V it up, and then I'll take you through with the grinder how to cut them up. So time to put them in the jig. Now the beveled side is going to be the collector, or going to one of the runners. So we'll put that down in there, and then we'll mark it up. So there we go. So we'll go ahead and cut that now, and then we'll cut that side now in the grinder, and we'll throw it in the vise, and we'll get it cracking. Alright, so that's number 2 all cut, and we'll finish it off in the linisher. So, finally, we've linished them all. We've got them like practically hard up against each other. I've got my Dremel here, the little grinding attachment. So there we go. Let's get to it. So that's one done. Something like that. There we go. I'm so happy. Now, I don't know how I'm gonna get in there, but I'll get in there somehow. Otherwise, I just weld up around here, around there, around here, around there, and then maybe get the welder in there and just zap it. Because yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to get down in there. And I'll give you a little bit of a look at the first tester that I did. So I think it came up not bad. Like this, don't forget, this is the first time I'm TIG welding. That is the collector. That was the first steel TIG welding that I've done. And this is the second. So, if we have a look, I'm pretty happy, and you can see it's pretty good. So now I need to do some work in there, but we'll get in there. Getting inside here has been the biggest but anyways, so this is what we got to work with. I'll just let you guys know I'm using 1.6 red tungsten. I'm using 2.4 filler wire. Now, I've only been fusing and filling where needed, so you'll see that that's practically just fused. I'll go over that with some filler just to add in there. So that's again just been fused. It will look something like this when I've added some filler in. So yeah, some shocking filler work, but we'll see. It should get the job done, I think, I hope. Anyways, put this little baby T2 flange, which sits so I've already put that on the linisher, nice and straight, and I just need to die grind down a little bit in there, but we'll get to that. All right.